Hi everyone and welcome to the first video on the introductory course to the CLAT series. My name is Vensy and I study in my final year at NALSAR University of Law, Hyderabad, and I also run an institute called Law School 101. This year we felt that we should release some free content to help the thousands of law aspirants out there. But before we begin our training sessions for the CLAT subjects, we begin with this introductory course, and this is addressed to all the law aspirants who are in the beginning stages of preparation. I ask you to watch this video even if you are familiar with the CLAT process already, because it might educate you on some of the frequently asked questions about the CLAT and also might let you help others with such questions. So firstly, a big hello to you and thanks for choosing to follow our videos. I have tried to cover most of the frequently asked questions about the CLAT, and I will also link most of the resources I mentioned in this video below. A note on why you can trust me before we begin. I have been teaching law aspirants since my first year of law school, and I've been in the CLAT coaching business for 4 years now. And since I also study at NALSAR, I can also give you some personal insights on CLAT prep and life at law school. So in this video, I try to answer the following questions. 1. What is the CLAT? Who is eligible to write the CLAT? A brief history of the CLAT. How do you prepare for the CLAT and other exams, and what other exams can a law aspirant write in India, and finally what formats do these exams follow. So let's begin with the CLAT. So what is the CLAT? The Common Law Admission Test is basically the point of entry for most of the NLUs in the country, national law universities. About 18 of them are currently under the exam. It is held on the second Sunday of May every year, and like most other competitive exams, your rank in this exam determines your seat or college. That is, it doesn't depend on how much score you get, but it is based on your relative performance against other people in the exam. So a list of NLUs in the CLAT right now. As you can see, you have National Law School, NALSAR, NUJS Kolkata, NLIU Bhopal, and so on. Mostly they are ordered on the basis of their joining of the CLAT and also their year of establishment, and thus we see that National Law University Delhi consciously chose to not come under the CLAT, and they conduct their own exam called the ALET, or the All India Law Exam Law Entrance Test, as we shall see in the next few slides. So when it comes to the format, we know that the CLAT has 200 questions of 200 marks. And it also has negative marking, that is 1 mark per correct answer and 1/4 or 0.25 negative marking for every wrong answer. When it comes to the topics, the legal aptitude section and general knowledge section carry 50 marks each, English and logical reasoning carry 40 marks each, and math, which is not as much math as much as it is quantitative aptitude, it is only of 20 marks. So coming to eligibility, can you write the CLAT? The questions here are generally on, do you have an age limit on the CLAT, and what stream should you take in your 12th standard to crack the CLAT? So I shall address both of these questions now. When it comes to age, from 2008 to 2015, the Bar Council of India, or the BCI, had something called as the Legal Education Rules 2008, which they passed the year that CLAT was established. Clause 28 of the Legal Education Rules said that the age limit for general candidates on this exam was 20 and 22 for the SCs and STs. However, in 2015, an order of the Allahabad High Court removed this particular age limit, and as a result, the 2016 CLAT also did not have this age limit. However, somewhere around October 2016, the Bar Council of India reinstated Clause 28 and reinstated the age limit. However, people fought it in the courts, and the Supreme Court asked the BCI to change it to a more reasonable age limit. The BCI then changed it to 22 from 20. However, since the petitioners also challenged this, the Supreme Court passed a stay on this particular order, and as a result, the 2017 exam did not have an age limit. However, the Bar Council of India also said that it would make a final decision regarding this matter in a general meeting in July 2017. And it seems that the courts are not in favor of an age limit for the law exams. The language used in the orders, not only in the Supreme Court order but also in the previous High Court orders, seem to convey, the language seems to convey a deep criticism of the BCI's arbitrary age limit policies. So even if an age limit does come after 2017, it's unlikely that an age limit will be reinstated, but even if it does, it will be fought against. Now coming to the stream, does the stream matter before you write the CLAT? Does the stream in your 12th standard or 11th standard matter? The short answer is no. But remember that you need a minimum of about 50% in your board exams for the CLAT. At the same time, unlike fields like engineering or medicine, there is no stream in the country that will prepare you for law or the law exams. So understand that you will have to juggle your prep for your boards as well as your preparation for CLAT together. So if you're very sure about the law, sure about taking law, then select stream that requires less effort for your boards. However, I feel that humanities is the best stream since you learn many subjects that are relevant for the CLAT in the GK section, etc. And they also help you contextualize the role of law in our world. So even once you come to law school, you will be a sensitized law student. So what about CBSE's legal studies subject? I have seen both the 11th and 12th standard CBSE legal studies textbooks, and in my personal opinion, they are definitely insufficient to prepare you for the CLAT. So don't worry if you have not chosen the subject. And I've also seen many students who took it up and they did poorly in the CLAT. So it doesn't really matter. Take it up if you're genuinely interested in studying the subject, but not because it will help you crack the CLAT, because it won't. In the best case, it might help you with the GK section. And with respect to the board curriculum, I would say prefer state board over CBSE since it tends to be easier. It will give you a lot of time to focus on the CLAT and any other activities that you're interested in pursuing. And once you get into law school, it won't matter what curriculum you've chosen anyway. Now, state syllabus is a good idea if you want to score well with minimal effort and have a lot of time and space to cater to CLAT and also all of your other interests. Another reason is that many state boards finish their board exams by March. This leaves you over a month to focus exclusively on CLAT and the other entrance exams. It's a luxury that other students do not have. However, if you're serious about doing law in India, a small advice, please avoid the IB curriculum at all costs. IB or International Baccalaureate does not release scores on time for the CLAT admissions process. The predicted scores, as I understand, offered by your schools is not valid at most law schools, especially in NALSAR. As a result, you will be forced to drop a year if you really want to study at such law schools. Now, a brief history of the CLAT. As you know, before 2008, each of these law schools had their own entrance exam. As a result, it was a huge hassle for the law aspirants to attempt all the exams and study for all of them and travel to different places. So what happened in 2008 was that many law schools came together and came up with the common law admissions test. And the first ever CLAT was held in 2008, held by NLS. Then subsequently, according to their CLAT order, each of the law schools organizes it. So in 2013, when HNLU was organizing the exam, for the first time negative marking was introduced, and for the past 5 years this has been the trend. And 2018, we know that NUALS Kochi, NUALS Kochi would be organizing the exam, and 2019 NLU Odisha will be organizing the exam. Now let's look at other exams. All India Law Entrance Test, or the ALET, as I've just told you, is conducted by NLU Delhi every year. It is held typically on the first Sunday of May, the week before the CLAT. And unlike the CLAT, it has no negative marking, and unlike the CLAT, it has 150 questions instead of 200. And the total time given is 90 minutes and not 120 minutes. With respect to other exams conducted by private law schools like Symbiosis, you have the Symbiosis entrance test conducted by Symbiosis for their Pune, Noida and Hyderabad colleges. Then you have LSAT India, which is the law school admission test accepted by Jindal and other private law schools in India. Then you have the ULSAT by UPES, the CET by Indraprastha University or the IP University, and the CET by Christ. So let's look at how do you begin your prep for the law school exams. So if you've made up your mind about law by your 10th grade, 2 years is a great time to evenly pace out your preparation. Law is not about cracking an exam and making it to a college. It's much more than just cracking an exam. It's about having opinions and being able to defend them, about being able to communicate effectively, about wanting to change the world, but also about understanding the world for what it is. So try your hand at a range of activities like public speaking, debating, writing, quizzing, Model United Nations, and so on, along with your CLAT prep. And 2 years gives you enough time to plan this out properly. Also, 1 year is a good enough duration as well, but keep in mind to finish your CLAT prep well in advance so that it will not affect your board exam preparation towards the end of the academic year. I know a few people who cracked the exam with a month's preparation also. I myself studied the hardest actually in the last 1 month before the CLAT, and I actually prepared properly in my last 1 month. But keep in mind that it will be very stressful and that you're competing against students who prepared for a whole year or 2 years or even 3 years in some cases. Finally, if you're giving CLAT a second attempt by dropping a year, I can tell you that a huge chunk of my class at NALSAR were those who dropped a year after 12th. So as long as you utilize your year effectively and wisely, you are likely to make it in your second attempt. And also keep in mind that you have an entire year without any distractions like school deadlines or board exams. So I would tell you that you have a huge advantage over other students who do not have the luxury to spend an entire year for the exam. So coming to how do you prepare in the time that you have, I will be doing a very detailed breakdown and review of the different products available in the market in a later video. But for the purposes of this video, we will touch briefly on the options that are available to you to start your preparation, which are basically coaching centers and correspondence courses. So when it comes to coaching centers, the advantages that you have, one is consistency. By this I mean that you're consistent with your CLAT prep, you're attending classes twice or thrice a week, and you're on track throughout the year. You're also studying amongst other students, so it gives you an idea of where you stand and what you're up against. This will help you consistently streamline your prep based on your rank in the class and also your rank vis-a-vis other students in your different branches. The issues with coaching centers are primarily as follows. One is everyone wants to set up a coaching center today now that law has a huge market. This means that people with little or no understanding of the CLAT set up a coaching center. So be wary of them. Secondly, even if the institute as a whole has a huge brand in the CLAT prep space, it need not mean that their every branch will display the same competence. Most centers send their management prep teachers for say CAT, GMAT or GRE to teach subjects like English, logic and math for the CLAT, and civil services exam trainer for GK, and hire a random lawyer to teach for the legal aptitude section. Needless to say, this is terrible for the students because say in my coaching class, I had a teacher who taught us trigonometry for math. So this is a problem because the math in CLAT is really basic and you need not be taught a lot of advanced topics such as trigonometry. So the trainers need to understand what is really required for the CLAT and also need to work together behind the classes to actually come up with a course that makes sense for the students who are studying with them. Finally, the biggest issue is obviously the fees. So the programs tend to be exceptionally high priced, sometimes around even 1 lakh or 2 depending on the program and the area where they're located. Down south in Hyderabad, even where the demand is quite low, the fees is about 50,000. So not everyone can afford this. So keep in mind that you still have to finance about 2 lakhs a year at least when you come to law school. So please don't feel the need to blow off money that you don't have at the CLAT prep level itself, because I know many people who crack the exams without classroom programs. So without classroom programs, what can you do? So you can look at correspondence courses. Correspondence courses give you the option to purchase the books and material from institutions and study at home with them. So this offers a lot of flexibility, especially if you're unable to attend a classroom program. Secondly, they're economical, especially compared to the classroom programs. And in the case that you are planning to attend a classroom program anyway, you can actually invest the same money in subscribing to correspondence courses, not from one but many institutes, and study by yourself throughout the year. Of course, again, don't buy material from just any center. The competence in the field really matters. And if you're studying on your own, it is easy to lose track of the competition and not know where you stand. So this is a serious issue. But this can be easily rectified by subscribing to some online mock tests from various institutes that are timed and give you an all India rank based on your performance. So keep in mind that just because it's cheap does not mean that it's effective, and just because it's costly doesn't mean it's effective either. So make sure that you take a wise decision there. Finally, coming with some additional advice. One is, there are plenty of online forums out there on Facebook, etc. So do stay active on most of these Facebook groups to stay updated with the latest news, and also with regards to understanding what you're up against and who you're actually competing against. And secondly, download CLAT related apps if you have the luxury of owning a smartphone. Not everyone has a smartphone, but if you do have a smartphone, then do subscribe to all the 10 or so apps that are there on Play Store or on Apple Store, as the case may be. And start learning to read books or material online, and don't feel a need to print out everything that you find online and only study from a hard copy, because once you come to law school, a lot of material that will be sent to you will be sent online, and thus it will be important for you to read fast and understand and grasp things as you read on PDFs and online copies. Finally, find a mentor from an NLU. If there's one person who can actually help you crack the CLAT, it is going to be a person who's already done it. So find somebody who's cracked the CLAT, and if you can't find somebody who's cracked the CLAT, then even if it's a lawyer who's graduated from the NLUs, from the time that the CLAT is around, that's also fine. So do find a mentor who might be able to help you. Find them and don't let go of them until the exams. You should probably not spam them on Facebook every day, but as long as you come up with a comprehensive email of all of your queries, I'm sure most of us would respond to them promptly. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel for updates. So also like our pages on Facebook and Instagram. We do have quite a lot of updates there. So stay tuned for our next few videos. In the next video, I'll be talking about the legal aptitude section and how to prepare for it on CLAT. Thank you so much for watching.